Hi, I'm Melinda Van Fleet, and welcome to the Confident Conversations podcast. I'm a confidence and peak performance coach, best-selling author, and speaker who helps businesswomen develop confidence to believe in themselves, take action, and get results. This podcast shares authentic and transparent, thought-provoking stories, tips, and tools from my experiences, as well as incredible guests, so you can continue to build your confidence and live your best life. Thank you for joining me. Let's get started on this confidence journey. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Confident Conversations podcast, episode 101. I am still celebrating that I decided to keep this podcast going. So if you haven't been following me, and I think I posted about it on Facebook and Instagram. Definitely check that out because it's a little bit of a content celebration. This morning when I was on my morning walk, which I love taking my morning walk when it is dark out, so it was 5 a.m., I started thinking about validation. Validation is a really, really important part of growth and personal development. The trouble with that word is often people think it's about the ego. I don't believe that. I do not believe wanting to have some validation is always about the ego. If you're a good person, if you're from good intentions, if you have a compassionate heart, I don't believe that everything that we want to learn or fix or change has to be about the ego. I think that this space of personal development has latched onto the word ego above and beyond and kind of slaps the word ego in your face if you dare bring up something that is about just getting better. I actually had that happen to me in October 2019 after something I did. I had hired a coach for some marketing help, and I called her for some feedback, and right away she just jumped down my throat and told me it was about ego, that I was looking for a pat on the back or something. And I was like, no, I'm just looking to learn, to grow, to do better next time. And needless to say, we didn't end up working together after that because she just wasn't a good fit, right? But I also started thinking about when I was in the corporate world. I had an amazing coworker, peer, when I was a senior buyer at Shop NBC, and her name was Vanessa, and we are still friends. We don't keep in touch as much as I'd love to, but I still consider her a friend, and she's beautiful and amazing. And we had a boss who was one of those people that got promoted because she was a great buyer, so they promoted her, but she wasn't necessarily a great leader per se. And this happens out there in corporate world. I'm sure if you're in the corporate world or even any type of business, really, you've probably seen it at least once in your life that, not everyone is made and designed for that next step. It's just part of it. It's a learning. And often that person isn't really happy in that role either, and they end up leaving or taking a step down. I've seen that happen before too. So anyhow, our boss wasn't the best. We didn't hate her. It wasn't anything negative, but we just struggled with her and her style. So I remember Vanessa and I would go out to a Redstone in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and get fondue and a glass of wine, and we would just share stories. And again, it wasn't from a place of negativity. It wasn't from a place of, oh my gosh, we hate our boss. It wasn't anything like that. It was looking for some validation. It was looking for a validation that I wasn't crazy. She was experiencing the same type of thing. So how can we just move forward? And having that mindset around what was going on and trying to make something positive in terms of moving forward and being like, okay, this is just her style. Like, we just got to keep going. I'm glad it's not me. We both have, the same type of stories going on, was really, really helpful. And I don't think this is discussed enough. I don't think the need for validation in this positive way is talked about enough. I've never seen it talked about. The closest thing I have ever seen is a YouTube video where Oprah is quoted as saying the 3 words that she has heard the most after all of her, thousands of interviews that she has done is, "Was that okay?" And in the video, if I remember correctly, she had people like Beyonce mentioned and all these amazing, amazing people that you would never think would doubt themselves or have a little twinge of, self-confidence lack in any way, shape, or form, right? I mean, heck, Beyonce, like how amazing is she? And here, people like that are still going, "Was that okay? Was that okay?" It's just getting that little bit of validation to see how you could do better next time. Because that's the whole point of it all. We all want to help each other, right? We all want to help each other learn and grow and be the best that we can be so we can help others. When you ask people, if you could do anything, what would you do? I mean, the majority of people say they would help someone with something. Like that's generally what you hear the most of, right? What's your purpose? What would be your why? Why would you want to do that? It's often so you can help others. So validation goes into that same bucket in a positive way, in a really, really positive way, because you want to get better so you can help others. It's not always from ego and not always from a negative place. So the same thing goes with your content. The same thing goes with creating content. Often we would love to have a coach, a marketing coach, look at our content and go, "Oh, you could tweak this a little better and you make it a little stronger and help more people," right? But that's hard to find. Those coaches are hard to find. I'm approaching content creation from that aspect. How can I help someone tell their story more? Because often I feel and see that many people aren't sharing their story. They're just posting and there's no story. So if you haven't embodied your story, if you haven't shown us how you have taken the content that's out there from A to Z, from Success Magazine to Abraham Hicks, right? Everyone has very similar content and messaging. But if you're not sharing with the world how you've embodied it and how you've made changes and you've likely made tweaks to it, you've put your own little personal spin and learnings on that, then you're not doing all you can to help others as well. And then that's where people get stuck, because then you're not relatable. So it's really this amazing circle of understanding that asking for validation is just the same as asking for some help. And that's okay. That's totally okay. And we can all help each other. I don't wake up every day and think, "Oh my gosh, I have the perfect thing." I'm always learning, but then I share it. And that's why I'm super excited to launch this program and the Facebook Live and really start putting courses in all different ways that people can work on what they would like to work on for themselves so they can get better. And some things will have live coaching aspects to it and some things won't. Just going to depend. And we'll kind of move and groove and see how it goes. But having some validation is not a bad thing for everyone. It's actually a good thing. So I hope you check out the courses and content creation, success strategies that I'm offering, and really just connect. And if it's not with me as a coach, find somebody else too. Like, that's totally fine. I think that's amazing. Because there are so many options out there. And often, heck, I listen to several different people at the same time on occasion, right? So you take what you are looking for and what is right for you at that moment that's going to help you on your journey. Because we all have the power to continue to build our confidence. And I hope this podcast helped you in that direction today. Thank you for listening. Please share.